Hello and welcome back to the channel. A lot of you may know by now that Mark is working away for the week in the Bansko-Borovets kind of region. So whilst he's away, work on the kitchen has come to a grinding halt. The kitchen has always been the most unfinished room in the entire house, and that is purely because we ran out of budget before we reached the kitchen. But luckily we were fortunate enough that the past owners of the house left a lot of personal belongings, a lot of furniture and things like that. So we've made use of a lot of cabinets, tables, and we've just kind of made a makeshift kitchen. We have a beautiful Belfast sink that is currently sat upon a desk, and I mean, it does the job as far as holding up a sink goes, but there's no cabinetry and it's fairly difficult to keep clean because it's got a painted top. And so I've found one final cabinet on the property, and we was using it in our tool room, and I think I've done some measurements. I think it'd be perfect to sit the Belfast sink into, and it should look a little bit more in keeping. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking off all the hardware, and I might even take off the cupboard fronts. Yeah, it should be easy enough. You may notice it's a little bit of a squeeze, but I can't move this cabinet on my own, and this is where Mark left it, so I just have to make do. Okay, so I think I've got a bit of a plan. For the top, there's lots of dinks and scratches, and if I was to sand all this stuff off, it would just be nasty. So I'm thinking potentially if I can pop it off, and I don't know if you can see that, but the underside has a kind of faux wood grain. So potentially, if I could pop the top off, that way I could clear varnish it, and it would make it as easy as possible to clean. Because if I paint it, it's not going to be easy to maintain. So I'm trying to think of the easiest way here, because it can't stay like this, obviously. How is it fixed? Okay, so it's just fixed with dowels. Ah. I've got an idea. Maybe. Okay. Maybe the backboard is holding it on. a hammer. Oh. Okay. So the wood grain is there. That's pretty nice. There was a bit of damage. Not as much as I thought though, to be fair. I think I'd rather put up with some little odd spots of wood glue than a paint job. So first coat done. I'm going to let it dry and then go over it with a little bit of sandpaper because I was a little bit slack-handed yesterday with the primer and we got some drip marks and some texture. So let it dry off totally, sand it back a little bit, clean it up and go again. And then it's time to piece it all back together. So I started painting one of these handles earlier with the Hammerite. Hammerite is our go-to because we like the finish. But the paint just didn't stick. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's kind of textured. And even as I was putting it on, I was thinking, this paint ain't gonna last 2 minutes. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it could do with a sand before painting, like just to roughen the surface or something like that. So I started sanding and I noticed that the discoloration is literally just dirt and underneath is a really nice brass handle. So I did this one. And I mean, I have just sanded it. There's probably a better way of doing it, but it kind of looks like brushed bronze. The backs are a little bit harder to get clean because they're textured. So I don't know. I've got a Dremel. Maybe I might try buff it up a little bit. But instead of painting them, I'm definitely going to go for the bronze handle. So that's the doors back on, handles back on. Just gotta wait for the top to dry, and then I can sit that back in situ. There's a lot of flaws. I didn't realise before, but this drawer is bowed, so it doesn't shut properly. And there's a little bit lumpy bumpy where I patched up here, but it's better than it was. And I think it looks 10 times better. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. I know I ramble on quite a bit. I just need to wait for Mark to come home so we can build a frame to drop the sink into and move the cabinet into the kitchen. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to see what it looks like in place, in situ, in the kitchen, then make sure you hit that bell and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now!